Welcome back, fellow shop rats. It's another Talk About It Tuesday, and today we're going to talk about something specific to YouTube, although it applies to other ventures as well. We're going to talk about things like endorsements and sponsorships and all kind of stuff like that. So don't go away. A couple things might be able to be learned here, that's for sure. I'm Mike.
This is My Cars Shop.
We are just wrapping up our fourth season of My Car Shop here on YouTube, and three of those four seasons, you've noticed a purple sign in the background. And if you've been on the channel for any length of time at all, you will see me use, I don't know if you can see it over there, but you will see me use those products um, liberally and regularly on the channel. And the reason for that is because we have a relationship with Super Clean. They don't sponsor the channel, but they do endorse me as a YouTuber, and they provide products for me to use here. And I give honest feedback on the product. So it's almost kind of like a test relationship kind of thing. And I've always been impressed with the product. And we just completed our third year already with Super Clean. And of course, I'm wearing the company colors today. I'm not paid by them at all. Um, but I do enjoy having relationships like that. It's nothing new to me because many of you know that I am a musician and I'm an endorsed artist by three companies as a musician. I'm endorsed by Sinister Guitar Picks. I'm an endorsed artist by Kurt Mangan Strings, and I'm also an endorsed artist with Spectraflex Cables. So endorsements and affiliations and all of that stuff are nothing new to me, but I realize to a lot of people, they may be new to you, and it might be worth talking about that a little bit, just in general, about what those things are and what the benefits can be and how those programs often work in the industries that you may be involved in, whether it's YouTube or as a musician or in some other area of life that maybe it would apply also. Once I became familiar with how the programs worked, then I went and started looking for those other affiliations. For example, Sinister Guitar Picks was one that I pursued and said, hey, here's who we are. Here's what I do. It's not the band necessarily that's endorsed, although that's part of it, but it's me as an artist, as my stage persona, Rebel. Um, Rebel is the endorsed artist with these companies. So my cables, my guitar picks, and my strings. When I lost the string endorsement because the company chose to go out of business, it was just their business plans weren't working, and they were involved in other business ventures and decided for a time to put that string company aside and not continue producing that product because it was not financially viable at that time. And I loved those strings, by the way. Then I realized I wanted another string endorsement, and I started seeking. I started looking on the web for companies that were offering endorsements to artists. When I went to them, Kurt Mangan Strings, and I explained the scenario that, hey, I was endorsed by another company. I'm looking for another endorsement. I'm endorsed by Sinister Guitar Picks. I'm endorsed by Spectraflex Cables. I would really like to try your product and see if this is a product that I could get behind. They sent me some strings. I tried them. I absolutely loved them. As a matter of fact, I think I almost loved them better than the first ones company I was with, and those were good. And again, none of these are ones you can walk into a music store and buy. These are higher end products than that. Um, After I tried them and I was happy with them, I went back to them and I said, okay, I'm interested in pursuing this further. And then there was paperwork and things we had to talk through and work through, and there's agreements that you have to make in a professional relationship like that. And the biggest agreement always is to promote their product for them, and they will give you that product at a nice discount. And then they promote you as an endorsed artist as well on their website and other places on the web. The affiliation with Super Clean came a bit differently because they actually found me and pursued me. And I know they have pursued a lot of small YouTube channels. And I understand, they haven't told me this, but I just think I understand their philosophy is getting in on the ground floor with smaller channels. And if those channels really grow, then that product line will grow with them. I know many channels that were affiliated with that company have kind of fallen away and they're not really promoting the product or using the product like they used to. And I know that's part of their I'm sure I don't know that for sure, but I'm sure that's part of their strategies. They recognize that not everybody is going to really rally behind what they're doing. Because of my experience with the other affiliations as a professional musician, um, I really value that recognition from a company that's not a small player in the auto industry for sure. I've not pursued other ones. I could. Right now, I'm just really trying to focus on growing the channel and working with those affiliations we have with Super Clean. Um, I can't say we've really developed an affiliation with Great Lakes Trailer Service, but we definitely have in a relationship with them. We communicate. I share things that's happening with the trailer. I share the episodes. They've given me some swag and so forth. Um, and I think that's where I want to go with all of this is to say when the opportunities come along, really look at them. When Super Clean approached me on this, I did not say, absolutely, yes, absolutely, I would do this. I said, I'll try the product. If I use this product and I believe in this product, I will be the best thing you've had since sliced bread because I will almost be annoying in how much I promote this. Now, I've not been as diligent about that as I could be. Life has been really, really complicated the last couple of years, but um, I communicate with my rep at Super Clean almost on a weekly basis, and we just I tell her what's going on. I tell her where I'm using the products. I share episodes with her that I'm using it in. I definitely share episodes that I'm featuring it in. Um, we recently received a package here from them with somewhere here. There's a gallon over there. Maybe I shared that before of the product that I'm going to use to power wash down the trailer. I was hoping to get it done this fall, but the weather has turned pretty crappy, and I don't want to fire the power washer up and then have to winterize it right away. Um, and so things like that they really help out with. And they also have provided me with a whole bunch of stickers for my truck and the trailer. Um, to just let people know I've got some MKS stickers hopefully coming to put on there. The MKS My Car Shop, youtube.com/, My Car Shop, something like that. Sticker about, hopefully about so big that we can put on the sides of the trailer, the front and the back. And then we have the Super Clean stickers to put, which is exactly what I said I wanted to do. Was to be able to feature those Super Clean stickers along with the MKS stickers on the trailer when I get to that point. The biggest thing in any business relationship, especially when it comes to affiliations, partnerships, sponsorships, and endorsements, is it needs to be equitable. Both parties need to feel that they are getting value for what they're bringing to the table. And that's important because why would they invest in you if you're not going to invest in them? Business is about an equitable exchange, right? So it's not a free street at all. Free street, is that the right word? It's not a free lunch. It's not easy street. It's not, oh, look, I get all this stuff lavished on me. No, it's not that at all from my experience on the different levels of how that works. It's a partnership that you have to really work at. And I think that comes from both sides of that. So if you're involved in a relationship with a company and you feel like you're really going the extra mile for them and they're doing nothing for you, then you probably want to evaluate that relationship. And likewise, if you're involved in a relationship with a company and they're doing a lot for you and you're doing nothing for them, I guarantee they are going to reevaluate that relationship as well. So, how do you get those relationships? Well, I find that once you get one, it seems like others come along. But the biggest thing is if you're really serious about it, then you really want to get online and look at what companies are offering these things. So I've done that as a musician. I've considered some programs with guitar companies and amplifier companies and other things. Most of those things are beyond the threshold of my budget right now in that part of my life, and I choose not to pursue them because they're not a free lunch. You've got to be really, really, really big for Gibson to guitar to step up and say, "Oh, here, have a half a dozen guitars every year because we're endorsing you as an artist and you're endorsing us as a company." I'm not nearly that big in the industry. We have some pretty good global success with our music and so forth, but we're nowhere near that level of success to warrant those kinds, because it wouldn't be equitable. If Gibson Guitar came and offered me 6 guitars a year, what's in it for them? We have thousands of fans, but not millions of fans, and so it's not equitable for them. It doesn't make any sense. Even smaller guitar companies are going to look at that because of the cost. Same thing in the auto stuff here, right? So there are other companies I could pursue. Super Clean is my cleaning product. I use that almost exclusively. I've toyed with pursuing Croyle and seeing if that maybe they would be interested in some kind of a relationship. But at this stage of the game, I don't feel like I use enough of that product to warrant it. I definitely have been in contact with them and talking with them through their Facebook page and so forth, and sharing stuff. And I've messaged them a little bit, and but I haven't pushed that one because I don't feel like it would be valuable for them at this point for me to be some kind of an endorsed person or an affiliation or whatever with that product at this time. But it is a product I believe in. So that's one thing I would encourage you. If there's things you believe in, then look at those companies and see. Many of times these companies do have some kind of programs available that you might not be aware of until you dig into it a little bit. Another example of this, and we pursued this a few years ago. Our band is called Iron Fist. Most of you are aware of that. We've been around since 1982, and there have been other bands called Iron Fist that have come and gone, but we are trademarked and legal entity and legal business and all of that stuff as Iron Fist LLC. Rebel Rouser Studios, Freak Out Music is all part of our business package of what we own legally. Um, there is a brewery called Iron Fist Brewery. And several years ago, I thought that would be fun to really develop a relationship with them. And who knows where that could lead. So I fired off an email to them and thought, hey, here we are, Iron Fist since '82. Didn't hear anything back. Okay, that's fine. You know what? Iron Fist Brewing is a pretty big deal, or a pretty big company, and I understand why we didn't hear back. Would I pursue that again? Sure, probably again at some point. So just because you throw it out there once doesn't mean you shouldn't throw it out there again. The quickest way to get shut down in pursuing any of those types of relationships is to immediately start looking for what they can give you. I would really encourage you, if you're going to pursue a professional relationship like that, lay your cards on the table of what you can offer them, as well as asking the questions, what else could I offer you that would be of benefit to make this relationship something that would interest you? That's really what business is all about, right? And business is grown through those kinds of relationships. That's really how business grows. And let's face it, whether you're on here to have fun or not, at the end of the day, you got to pay for stuff somehow. So if there's ways that you can develop relationships that will help um, make things happen for you, then why wouldn't you? Now, I will clarify this because I've come on pretty strong here on the channel talking about how I do not want to compromise my values as a DIY shop. And I'm really serious about that. So I've had to do some soul searching, not with Super Clean. I'm fine with that. I've had to do some soul searching on what if, okay, what if um, Iskandarian Cams decided to pony up and say, hey, we're going to provide you with camshafts for all of your builds from now on. Would I turn that down? No, but I wouldn't necessarily jump on it immediately either. And here's why. I've talked about this before. One of the things that I really am concerned about is staying true to what you guys can relate to in your lives. Now, I know not everybody has a shop this size and not everybody has the amount of projects that I have. And I've been very fortunate to buy machinery and equipment in the last couple of years that cheap, $500 for a lathe, I think $500 for a valve grinder, stuff like that. My concern is keeping things within reach of the average person. So if I'm building this truck, and this one isn't mine, but let's say that Jags ponied up and said, "Hey, we're going to provide you with a 572 Hemi to put in there. That's a $15,000 value or whatever it is these days," and blah 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 blah. I mean, part of me would be all excited about that, but I would have to do some real soul searching to say, does this line up with the core values of what my channel is about? Because the moment I accept that, I just stepped out of what you guys can relate to into a world that you may enjoy watching, but it no longer is something you can relate to. And I'm really serious about that. So I've done a lot of scenarios in my mind about affiliates and partnerships and relationships and endorsements and all that kind of stuff. And I really want to keep it real, even if that means the channel doesn't grow as much as it potentially could with some of those partnerships. I think in the long run, sticking to your core values is really important. And I will say this with the companies that I work with, whether it's in the band or here on the channel, the core values are very much in line. These are good people. And I think that's the bottom line for me is I will work in an affiliation with good people. And as long as it lines up with the core values of my life and my channel. So those are my thoughts today. Think that through for yourself. If you've got a YouTube channel or you've got some kind of a business venture you're in, that you could potentially get some kind of support or endorsement or donations or whatever it is that would benefit you, um, just think about some of the things we talked about today, because that's what Talk About It Tuesdays are all about. I really appreciate you being here. Tuesdays are just my opportunity to blather about whatever random stuff happens to come to mind. And so we sit out here in the shop and we do some bench racing and we talk about it. I appreciate you being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we will catch you on the other one or on the next one. Or we'll catch you somewhere. I'm sure of that. I hope you come back. Hope to see you soon. We put out episodes every Friday, Sunday, and Tuesdays at 7 o'clock in the morning. Like clockwork. You can set your watch by it most of the time. Rah!